hitting up a J right after. We got off the phone, yeah, we just reconnected. Been a while since we spoke. You tell me that it's been destined, but the uncertainty, baby, it made you shy away. Now you're not saying I won't make it. What you trying to say?
Everybody, happy Friday. It's about 7:20 here at Randall's. Julie at the office mentioned that they have some clearance protein muffins. You add water, put it in the microwave, and they're like 20 grams of protein or something. So they're on clearance. So I can come check it out here. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Cranking out an episode on the Crazy Asian podcast. Listen to some voice messages that people had left me. I wanted to put those in this episode of Loving Yourself here on this Valentine's Day. And let's see. Should have a good day. Oh, one thing, let's talk about this Randall. So back in, gosh, about 20 years ago, this Randall's, and I know this from the story of one of the VPs, is that they had about a 36% market on the Houston grocery business. Fast forward 20 years later, they have 2%. H-E-B, Walmart superstores, Target superstores, Kroger, all these other players came in town and just ate up their market share. And so this person who I knew started at the age of 16, and for 20 some odd years worked for him, worked all his way up from moving carts all the way to running basically almost the entire part of distribution. Indirectly was over 2,000 employees. And so one of the things that I would say when it comes to career, and you never know where the company's going to go. And so if you find yourself having to redefine yourself in your second career, it's okay. It's just part of the deal. Got to be flexible, got to be willing to change, got to see where you want to go, find your passions, and keep rolling. Let's go. All right, everybody, here we are with Kyle at Best Five Guys, burgers for lunch. Start getting a little bit of headache, so I had to get some meat in me. So, having some peanuts. Let's keep going. I'll recap the day later. Hey there, everybody. Finishing off lunch. I'm gonna do some one-on-one here in the conference room. Can put my foot up here. There you go. Getting stuff done. Took all the contacts that I've met over the last couple days and putting them into Salesforce, shooting them out emails, making sure we're connected on LinkedIn, making a task to follow up with them in a week. So that way I'm consistently following up with people. Got a couple of emails to respond to, but I'll get to those because none of them are urgent. Put the addresses on some letters that need to go out. However, office staff not feeling well. She left early. So can always get that done on Monday as well. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Hey there. Getting in the last little few here. Got in, that's the 6th set of the day. Let's go. Hey there, everybody. End of the day. Wanted to kind of recap everything here. So number one, Kyle came in and reviewed marketing and talked about the speed of trust, that when people trust us, we do business quickly and we do it a little bit more effectively. And so great book. Hey there, everybody. Hope you're doing great. End of the day. Let me recap what went down today. So Kyle came on. We talked about marketing from a perspective of creating a marketing plan, and wanted to be able to go through just the concept of marketing, and that it's going to be a lot easier to work with people that trust you, and that as there's more similarities, you'll gain more trust. Great book called Speed of Trust by Stephen M.R. Covey, who's the son of the great Stephen Covey, who was the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and of course the multiple different things that came out of that, and of course connected with Franklin Covey. And so as we think about marketing and reaching out to people, it's going to be a lot easier to reach out to people that already know and trust you, your raving fans, and let them know what you're doing. And so that way they're fully aware of who you are and what you do professionally. And then the idea is to have an actual structured approach. In the structured approach of when you get names, gathering of names, whether it doesn't matter how you're getting them, but you want to put it into a system. We use Salesforce as our CRM. So you're putting in their information, you're sending them an email immediately, kind of referencing, and you want to do it as quickly as possible so that way your name and face if you met them face to face, is on top of their mind. And then you want to put a task of when you're going to do a follow-up. The follow-up is what separates good from great. So good name collectors, good people at getting, connecting, those that have the ability to have a process at following up with those individuals will find themselves separating from the rest of the pack and having better results, because it's that follow through that helps create that trust, that consistency, that dependability, because the person is experiencing it through your consistent touches. And so, for my attitude towards that is, when it comes to creating that sales cycle, that follow-up, is to be able to, let's say today's the February 14th, sent an email out. February 21st, follow up with a phone call. If I'm connected with them on LinkedIn, the 28th, I'll send them a DM in LinkedIn. And then finally, we're at February 28th, then that's February 14th, email. February 21st, phone call. February 28th, DM. 1 month later, March 28th, hey, I know, life gets busy. Seems like now's not a good time. Don't want you to feel like I'm chasing you. If it's important to you to connect with me, feel free to reach out to me. If I don't hear from you, I'll reach out to you in 6 months. And so what happens is, in 6 months, number one, things change. But number two is, you've shown your dependability. You've shown that you're persistent professionally. And that way you're able to then have an organized way of following up with these individuals. That is the power of a true follow-up. So after that conversation, we then did some other exercises that needed to get done in the administrative side of things. And then after that, we grabbed lunch at Five Guys, came back to the office, talked through setting of goals. He's already got some goals when it comes to his own personal fitness, and also from a career perspective. And so that he shared those with me. And then we talked about putting numbers to those different goals that someone might have. So for example, someone says, I want a specific kind of car. Well, that's great. How much is that car going to cost? What year do you want? What color do you want? What do you want the interior to be like? The more visually you can get on the specifics of that, make it a lot easier for your goals. The other crucial thing when it comes to setting of goals is, what are you going to do to be able to get there? And yes, there are SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable or attainable, realistic, not realistic, relevant, and of course timetable. But this is beyond that. This is having a look at those goals that you've put down, thinking through what it's going to require you to be able to afford it or to be able to get there, right? So if, let's say, you want to lose 20 pounds, so basically you want to go from 220 to 200, what are you going to specifically do from a nutrition and a cardio, from a fitness perspective, right? Those two areas, and you might evolve even more. You might say, I'm going to break it down, month by month, week by week, day by day. What are those daily activities that you're going to do that's going to lead you closer to your goals? After that, you want to be able to have a look at the visualization of those goals. The more powerfully you can visualize yourself achieving those goals, having them before you, it's going to make it, number one, the top of your mind, and number two, it's going to allow the creative juices to flow in order for you to be able to find the plan to get there. Now, some of the goals that you and I might have, like for example, one of the goals he had was to have a job by the time he graduated from college. And so it was, not only was it applying and having interviews, but it was also identifying for himself, what do you want to do? And so he didn't know it was going to be us until we were introduced to him, until we showed him the path, until we explained to him what we were looking for. And then he was able to then identify that match of what we're looking for, what we can provide, what we can deliver on, is how it matched with him. And so he didn't know exactly where the end was going to take him, but he knew the activity of networking, sending out applications, connecting with others was going to get him to where he wanted to go. After that, did some more emails, and then was able to get in 10 sets of bicep curls 10 reps each, so it's productive on that front as well. Foot is still swollen. I'll show you a little video of that. And so I'll go in on the 18th for the x-ray to see what that thing is looking like, and should be, staying off of it. The growth should have been occurring, and the bones have, been attaching to each other. And so I'm sure in maybe a couple weeks we'll be able to put a little bit of weight on it. Right now it's still a little tender. Heck, it's still swollen. So we'd want that to be down before we start putting a weight on it, or at least I want it down before I start putting weight on it. And that is the end of the day, everybody. Hope you're doing great. Sherm's out. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Hope you're doing really well on this day of love. I hope most importantly you can love yourself. And because you love yourself, flaws and all, that you love other people. I think if a lot more of us were motivated in love of us, of ourselves, the world would be a greater place. There'd be more forgiveness, more tolerance, more support, more compassion, more people going out of their way to help others. Instead of trying to get mine at the expense of others, when we're led by love, we're willing to give people a break. We're willing to give people second chances. And so as you think about where you are today, and same thing for me, let's be filled with more love and compassion to others and help others get to where they need to go. Sherm's out.
But I do this cause I live like I'ma die today. Passionate about it, you got a habit of doubting. I got a habit of working and earning it. I am out in the city of angels. I know that they're looking out for me. This is my testimony for all of y'all that been doubting me. The evidence is evident. Music is my medicine, my testament. Meant to be true to you, a legend in the making. Make the best of every moment, cause nothing lasts forever, but forever I'll be focused. Focus on a now.